करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
अचतुर्वदनो ब्रह्म द्विबाहुरपरो हरिः अभाललोचनः शम्भुः भगवान् बादरायणः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. On the auspicious occasion of Guru Poornima, the actual Guru Poornima this year is on 13th of July, but we have chosen to have our address on this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So on the eve of Guru Poornima, first we salute all the great masters, rishis and sages who have kept this knowledge alive for us, without which to continue as human race is impossible. Guru Poornima is celebrated on Vedavyasa Jayanti. Vedavyasa is the stalwart in the Guru Parampara. In our religion, Sanatana Dharma, we don't have any one founder or one prophet as it is in, let us say, Christianity or Islam. It is a long list of rishis, just as you can say a list of scientists are there who have given us the knowledge of science. You cannot attribute science to one particular scientist. Like that, you cannot attribute this knowledge to one particular rishi or one particular master. Right from the time of Vedas till now, there have been so many sages and saints who have contributed to this, and this is Sanatana Dharma. But if you want to point out a particular person, if somebody asks, name one person, without doubt we can say it is sage Vedavyasa. Even in Vedanta, there have been various schools of thought, various traditions, various parampara is there. You have the Advaita, you have the Vishishta Advaita, you have Dvaita, various other schools of thoughts are there. Various masters are there. But all of them connect to Vedavyasa. There is no doubts or there is no indecision there. And the contribution of Vedavyasa is phenomenal, that he has just not codified the Vedas. He has not given the essence of Vedanta in the form of Brahma Sutra. He has not just compiled the 18 Puranas. He has given the Mahabharata. So the Hinduism as we see now and as we practice now all over, we can very clearly say that it is because of sage Vedavyasa. Now the gratitude towards Guru Parampara is not confined to this one day. It is there throughout. Always it must be remembered. But this Vedavyasa Jayanti is symbolic of the gratitude towards the entire Guru Parampara. So we invoke the blessings of sage Vedavyasa and all our masters as we enter the subject today, which is fate versus free will. The central theme of Vedas is the self, is the Atma. Now the middle portion of the Vedas in Yajurveda comes the celebrated Sri Rudram. Rudram is the chant praising Lord Shiva. It is widely and popularly chanted all over India. Rudram begins something like this. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya Namaste Rudra Manyava Utota Ishave Namaha Namaste Astu Danvane Bahubhyam Utate Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya means salutations to Lord Rudra. Lord Rudra here represents the supreme reality, the self, Brahman you want to call it, Atma, or call Lord Shiva also. Salutations to that supreme reality in the form of Lord Rudra. Namaste Rudra Manyava Utota Ishave Namaha. Salutations to the unerring arrows of Lord Shiva. Namaste astu danvane bahubhyam utate namaha. Salutations to that untiring arms that is releasing these arrows. So salutations to Lord Shiva, salutations to the unerring arrows that he continuously releases, salutations to this untiring arms that are releasing these arrows. Very interesting. What does it actually mean? Swami Ramatirtha explains. Of course, as I said, Rudra represents the supreme reality. This whole universe is a function of cause and effect. The law of causation that functions in this universe is meticulous. It functions with 0% error, 100% accuracy. Never does it fail. Whenever any law is functioning meticulously, you know that there is a intelligent entity behind who is creating, controlling and making sure that the laws are functioning. We have laws functioning in this country. We also have laws functioning in a state like Singapore. Now when you go to Singapore, you see that everything is very orderly. You cannot throw dirt here and there, or if you do it, immediately you are punished. Whether it is transport, whether it is the pedestrians walking, whether it is maintaining the cleanliness, each and everything is very meticulous and orderly. We also have laws in this country, but nobody seems to follow. You can go in the wrong entry and dekha jayega. You can say, always say it is, we will manage, or you adjust with the policeman there, something like that. But what happens? The laws are very powerful. Laws are there, but why is it not getting implemented here? Because the enforcing authority is not powerful. So we can put it backwards and say, wherever it is functioning meticulously, it is correct to conclude that the law enforcing authority is powerful. If everything is functioning meticulously, that means the law enforcing authority is powerful. Now you see in this world how it is functioning. Whether it is the physical laws, the chemical laws, the gravitation is there. It was functioning in the same way before, now, and it will function in the same way later also. 9.8 meter per second square for earth means that is what it is. It does not change. Two atoms of hydrogen will combine with an atom of oxygen to form a molecule of water is a law. It is a chemical law. This will not change. Like that, there are numerous laws. These laws pertain to physics, to biology, to maths, to economics, to chemistry, each and every subject. That is why each and every subject is studied as a science. Science is able to deduce these laws, and we see that these laws are meticulously functioning. If a company functions meticulously, everything is in order, then you know that whoever is the authority there, the chairman or the managing director, he is able to have a perfect control over that company. Now this entire universe is functioning like this. So that is, therefore it is not wrong to assume that whoever is maintaining this is having a perfect control over this, and that is what is referred to in that mantra as Lord Rudra. His arrows are unerring. That means every time it hits the target only, and it is not from 2000 BC to 2000 AD. It is functioning always. So he says it is untiring arms of the Lord. Always it continues to function. This is the functioning of cause and effect. Now, from the point of view of the absolute, in the Upanishads we are told that what you see as universe, which is an effect, is nothing but the manifestation of the supreme reality, which is the God. So they talk about in terms of cause and effect in that relationship also. But we can understand the cause and effect functioning within the realm of the universe. So there are 4 sentences that are worthy of contemplation. First is that as the cause, so the effect. Whatever is the nature of the cause, that is the nature of the effect. If the cause is gold, the effect is gold chain. If the cause is iron, the effect is iron chain. If the cause is wood, you get a wooden table. As the cause, so the effect. If the cause is a mango seed, you get a mango tree. If the cause is coconut seed, you get a coconut tree. If the cause is a defective seed, the tree is defective. If the cause is a good seed, you get a good tree. So, as the cause, so the effect. Effect is nothing but the cause in another form. The table that you see is nothing but the wood in another form. The chain that you see is nothing but the gold bar in another form. Later that can become the cause, and gold ring you can make. So, what you see as that cause will become like the effect in another form. It is the seed today which is the tree tomorrow. So, tree is nothing but this glorified seed which is in another form. So, as the cause, so the effect. The effect is nothing but the cause in another form. If you remove the cause from the effect, nothing of the effect remains. If you remove the gold from the chain, nothing of the chain remains. If you remove the wood from this podium or table, nothing of the podium remains. Therefore, the conclusion is very interesting. This was given with reference to what I told as absolute, but we can understand it from relative point of view also, that the cause is concurrent and inherent in the effect. Cause and effect are inseparable. It is concurrent means it runs parallelly. It is inherent means that which you see as the effect, in that the cause is hidden. It is there inherent. This is there always. So, whatever you see as the effect, in that the cause is hidden. A person who studies hard, he is going to become literate. Whenever the studying is happening and the work is getting done, that time itself the effect is there. We see the result later after the result is published after the exam. But the moment you are putting in the cause, that time itself the effect is already underway. So, cause and effect are inseparable. Now, the laws that apply to macrocosm, it is the same laws that apply to microcosm. What is this macrocosm? Macrocosm is totality, microcosm is unit. Suppose you take ocean to be the macrocosm, a drop of water is the microcosm. Drop of water all put together becomes the ocean, right. So, therefore, all the drops of water put together is one big ocean. Every drop of water you can say is the microcosm, and the totality of the ocean is the macrocosm. The entire universe is the macrocosm, each and every individual, each one of us is the microcosm. So, you see that there is a beautiful coordination between microcosm and macrocosm. There is this, okay, for example I am saying, one angle to look at it. We have these 5 senses, we have the eyes, the ears, the nose, tongue and the skin, 5 senses are there. You have the 5 elements in the universe which correspond to these 5 senses. You have the light, sight which corresponds to the eyes. You have the sound which corresponds to the ears, which is an aspect of space. You have the water which corresponds to the tongue. The air corresponds to the skin, and the earth element which has the inherent quality of smell, that corresponds to the nose. It is very beautifully designed like this. So, when there is a coordination like this, so we see that it is the same laws that is functioning with reference to both microcosm and macrocosm. So, if the laws governing the macrocosm is there for us to see, there is no reason for us to believe that we will be exempt from it. We are also governed by the same laws. As far as the individuals are concerned, they say that there are 2 laws functioning. These 2 laws are not 2 different laws, it is one and the same law, but it is approached from 2 different angles, that is all. One is called as the law of destiny, another is called as the law of karma. Again I am saying these two are not two different laws, it is only one law, which is the law of karma only, law of causation only. But for our easier understanding and the purpose of the topic that we have taken, it is better that we understand these from two different angles. One is the law of destiny, another is called as the law of karma. What does law of destiny say? Destiny means fate. You can use the term bhagya, you can use the term kismat, I think in Urdu they use the term kismat, fate, destiny, all these are synonyms, or at least understand in this context to be synonyms. Law of destiny says that you are presently whatever you are because of your past actions. The past actions of yours has produced the present destiny for you. This present destiny that you are experiencing now is fate accompli, it cannot be changed. It cannot be changed because you have done the actions in the past, nobody can change it. Who has written this destiny? It is not somebody apart from you who has written this destiny, because this is a common misconception. I may not refer to the people who are sitting here, but in general what is understood is it is all written here on the forehead. Who? God has written it. This is the common understanding. It is not wrong to bring in the God factor here, but what does God do? In Vedantic parlance also we say Ishvara or God is called as karma phala data. Karma phala data means bestower of the fruit of action. He gives you the fruit of action. According to what? According to the law of karma you will get the fruit of action. But who does the action? You do the action. When you do the action, God makes sure that according to the law you get the fruit of action. When that fruit of action is coming to you, it is your destiny. So destiny is nothing but what you have written for yourself as fate, as destiny. In the past you have done it. You have done it in the past. Now the question arises, what is past? Past is defined as this moment backwards. I repeat, past is defined as this moment backwards. 5 minutes before was also past, last week was past, last month, last year, beginning of birth, if you can accommodate previous janmas also. Each and everything for us now is past. In fact, this concept of past is created because now we are living in the present now. Since we are living in the present now, we are able to relate to whatever happened in the past, and that past, whatever you have done, accumulation of all those things coming together is what has created your destiny now. So this is called as the law of destiny. Law of destiny says your past actions have created your present destiny. God only enables the law. In that sense, He is the bestower of the fruit of action. That's all. In the, most of you would have got this invitation card. In that invitation card, there is a Sanskrit quote that is given. That Sanskrit quote comes from Yoga Vasishta. Yoga Vasishta is a phenomenal Vedanta book. It is a conversation between sage Vasishta and Lord Rama. According to Swami Ramatirtha, anybody who lays his hand on Yoga Vasishta cannot escape self-realization. That is the power of that book. In that extensively fate and Purushartha is being talked about. In that he says, Daivam namana kinchana. That is what we had printed. Daivam namana kinchana. Daivam means that which is coming of God, which is referring to fate. There is no such thing as fate. This is the statement. There is no such thing called fate. Is a very direct statement given there in the end of couple of verses it is coming. Daivam namana kinchana. So in other words, there is no such thing as fate apart from your thought. Apart from your thought, apart from your actions, there is no such thing as fate. What about luck? Bad luck, good luck, fortune, accident? No. The term for luck in Sanskrit language, which we use in Tamil also, is adrishtam, isn't it? We use the term adrishtam, it is a Sanskrit term. Drishtam means seen, adrishtam means unseen. In Sanskrit usually is giving the opposite meaning, right? Vidya, avidya, karma, akarma, like that, drishtam, adrishtam. A person works for 30 days and at the end of the 30 days he gets salary from his boss, 30,000 rupees he gets. He goes and gives it to his wife or mother. She doesn't say, oh, very lucky you got so much money today. It is not luck. It is actually his work, the salary is given, that's all it is. What is the cause here? The working is the cause. And what is the effect of it? The salary is the effect of it. The effect, which is salary, is seen. The cause, which is work, is also seen. So there is no problem here. But one day you get a lottery of 1 lakh rupees and you give it. Then you say, oh, you are lucky today. You have got 1 lakh adrishtam. That is adrishtam. Or suddenly you lose 1 lakh rupees. Bad luck. It is bad luck. Correct. You can use the term. But the term adrishtam is very significant here. Effect is seen. That 1 lakh which has come is seen. But what is not seen? What is not seen is the cause. Maybe whatever you did you do not know. You took away 1 lakh from others and now this 1 lakh is going away from you. How it is you do not know. How it is coming you will not know. But nothing works apart from the law. Sir, it has been good here so far, I would say, but sometimes in a crowd like this, what will happen is, even after so many announcements and the board there, keep your mobile phone switched off and everything, suddenly something will ring. Okay, and when it rings, and suppose if we are trying to build up a thought flow and we are trying to, and everybody is trying to concentrate, suddenly that mobile rings, it is definitely a disturbance. For the speaker, for the audience who are listening also, for everybody it is a disturbance. When that mobile rings, the automatic immediate reaction of those people around him, hey, come on, why is he doing this? It is in a way, unknowingly, unwantedly, you are incurring the curse of those people. We see in our Puranas, rishis and sages and all giving curse, no? And curse is you go become a stone or something, curse is given. No rishi, no sage worth the name is going to curse the person. What is this curse coming from the mouth of that rishi? It is nothing but your own karma getting reflected through him, and that is coming as an effect to you. So when you are, you see, you may say it is, nobody will really want to disturb others, but whether it is a casual attitude or whether you say there is an important call that I am waiting for or something, or you do not know how to switch off the mobile phone, unintentional, intentional, according to whatever thing, the mobile phone rings. You are disturbing the concentration of others. Later, when you are going for an interview, let us say, an easy question is asked, you are prepared for it, at that time the answer does not come. Your concentration goes away. You lose the job maybe. Or you are filling up a form online, instead of clicking something else, you click and submit button is clicked and it goes without filling or something like that. You can't realize why it is happening. It is all in my fate. That is what you will say. It is, yes, it is in your fate. But who created that? You do not realize when you have caused the disturbance in concentration for others, it is going to come back to you. When it comes, When you are not able to correlate to the cause, you say good luck and bad luck. You say God has done this. God is partial to some or not partial to it doesn't work like the very definition of God itself goes away then. If God is going to be partial to some person and not to the other person, that doesn't fit into the definition of God itself, even as we understand. It doesn't. The thing is that we do not know what we have done. When it comes, we may lament, or sometimes we will jump with joy, but each and everything comes back to you based on your thing. That is why the accountant who is maintaining our karma in our Hindu way of thinking according to our Puranas, who is the accountant who is there with Yama making notes of all these things? Chitragupta. Chitragupta is the accountant of Lord Yama. He is each and everything that you do, every debit and credit is there. He notes down everything. Who is this Chitragupta? Again Swami Ramatirtha says, who is this Chitragupta? Chitra means picture. Gupta means secret. It's hidden. There is a camera, it's a hidden camera there. Like now we have all these cameras now kept somewhere. Whether you realize or not, something is capturing. At least the science is helping us to understand this. That Chitragupta is like that. Even you, Swami Vivekananda says, you can do something here and try to escape to Himalayas, your karma will come in the form of a blade of grass and hit you there. Nobody can escape this. So Chitragupta is nothing but that hidden camera which is capturing all your karma, and at the right time, in the right way, it will manifest. If not now, later. Nobody is going to escape this. So this law of destiny that you are experiencing in the present as a result of past is inescapable. Sometimes the fruit may come in a mixed way, that is possible, but fruit will come according to your thought, according to your actions. Nobody apart from you is responsible for this. A person is stealing others' money. It is said in one story, in the next Janma, he is made as a, Yama says, he is reading the account. What did he do? He is constantly wanting to steal others' money. He is thief. Make him a beggar. In the next Janma, he is going to be a beggar. You may ask, why so? This is your thought only. What is this thought of a thief? That he wants to earn money without working for it. That is what the beggar also does. You have asked for it, right? And you will be at the mercy of the others wanting this. But he says, he is also a devotee of Lord Rama. That is another, okay, make him a beggar in Ram temple, that's possible. That is how the fruit will come. It will come in a mixed way, that instead of being a beggar in a subway or something, you will be in a Ram temple, which is slightly better, you can say. But all your karma put together will give you a fruit. That is possible. You can relate it to sometimes on a one-to-one basis. You can sometimes relate it to on a mixed basis. All the debits and credits put together also can come in one way, but all the karma per se are accountable. So therefore, fate is what you have written for yourself. In this context, we will also remember one more word which is called as Prarabdha. Prarabdha means that which has well begun. That which has well begun. The actions are over, the effect has begun, so it is called as Prarabdha. We use this term when we study this karma also. You say Prarabdha karma, Sanchita karma and all, we study this. So Prarabdha karma means that karma by which you take up this embodiment and you have to go through the experience. You cannot do anything about it. It is said even a jnani cannot do anything about it. He has to go through this Prarabdha. Prarabdha means that which is well begun. So that which has well begun refers to all the accumulation of the past till now. It has begun. The cause has been put. Once the cause is put, it is well begun. Now this is law of destiny. Now we come to law of karma. Again I am saying it is a continuation of law of destiny. It is not a separate law. Meaning these two are not two different laws. Continuation of law of destiny is law of karma. In fact, or you can say law of destiny is an aspect of law of karma. So, law of destiny which is dealing with the past, that means past actions till the present. Law of karma deals with all the three, past, present and future. That is all it is. So, therefore, since we defined past as this moment backwards, how do we understand future then? We said everything functions in the world meticulously in a very methodic way. So, therefore, if past is coming in a methodic way in a sequence, that is what is going to continue into the future also, correct? But what you modify in the present also counts. So, we can define future as continuity of the past modified in the present. I repeat, past is this moment backwards, future is continuity of the past modified in the present, that is called as future. What is this modification? This modification refers to the effort of the individual. What effort you put in the present, that is the modification. This effort, we will use the term Purushartha. We will use the term Purushartha. Again, this term Purushartha is also given in Yoga Vasishta. He says, Sage Brihaspati, who is the guru of the Devas, is sitting in his seat because of his Purushartha. Shukracharya, who is sitting in the seat as the guru of the Asuras, he is sitting in his seat because of his Purushartha. Purushartha is glorified. Purushartha is the effort. So, this law of destiny and law of karma are not two different laws, but the outlook is different. That is all it is. Let us look here. This is here, law of destiny and law of karma. With reference to the time, destiny refers to the past only, meaning past actions leading up to the present. That is the law of destiny. Law of karma says not only that, how you can modify yourself in the present and create your future. So, therefore, it is referring to past, present and future. Only if you look at it from destiny's point of view, you will understand a human to be bound. I have nothing, no freedom. I am a slave. I am a product of the past. I cannot do anything about it. Yes, whatever I have done in the past, I have to suffer now. I have to enjoy now. I have to go through that. So, if you look at it only from destiny point of view, you are just a product. But Vedanta says, look at law of karma. You are not only a product, you are a producer at the same time. With reference to the past, you are a product, but with reference to future, you are a producer, you are a master. Man is the master of his destiny. That's how we understand it. You are free. You are free. So, you are free and bound at the same time. Right. What is the nature of actions here? We said it is called as Prarabdha. It cannot be reversed. You cannot go to the past and do something about it. But with Purushartha, with effort, you can change the course in the future. This is a very, very optimistic way of looking at it. Not only that, so yeah, so the outlook is, I am saying with caution here, if you look at it only destiny and not connected to yourself, it might be pessimism. But law of karma is very, very optimistic. It makes us optimistic. We need not look into the past. All that we need to do is that we need to plunge into the present and do the actions. Right. Now, there is an age-old debate between this Prarabdha and Purushartha. How much of our effect is determined by Prarabdha and how much is determined by our Purushartha? In tradition also, even in Ramayana also, in various places, this question about what is known as what is Daivam and what is Paurusham, this is discussed. As we said, Daivam means that which is like fate. Daivam refers to fate, that is like God given. Again I am repeating, God given means what has God given to you according to your karma, that is fate. You cannot do anything about it, that is Daivam. Paurusham means from man, the ability of the man, the effort of the man. So the Vada or the argument is about Daivavada and Paurushavada. In Ramayana, there is this episode where Rama is going for coronation. Everything is fixed. Suddenly, Kaikeyi demands the two boons, and Dasharatha had to yield. So Rama is called to the king's chamber. Lakshmana and Rama go there. Dasharatha is not able to speak. He is completely in a utter depression. So Kaikeyi says, this is what has been decided. The father has decided that you have to go to the forest for 14 years and Bharata will be the king. In Rama's face there is no change at all. In fact, the Tamil Ramayana says that his face is as bright as the full blown lotus. The lotus which has blown just now, how fresh it is like that his face is. And everybody is stunned. Rama is not something that he is indifferent. He was happy to take up the kingdom and he is ready for it. But this news is suddenly given, but there is absolutely no change in his attitude or behavior. He is able to absorb it completely. And the news spreads, everybody in the palace is very upset and they are crying about it. Then Rama enters, he says, I have to take permission of Kaushalya, his mother, and he goes to her palace. Lakshmana follows. And when he opens the news to Kaushalya, she is not able to take it and she says, let me die or let me also come with you. So much of frustration and pain and suffering is there. And that is the time Lakshmana cannot hold back any further because he is naturally a very impulsive character. And his devotion to Rama is unmatched. What is interesting is such a character also was stunned when the news was broken. He saw Rama's face and he kept quiet. Meaning words could not come. Nobody can believe that how can such a person be such an even-minded person. How can it be the case when one day you say that you are going to the king, next day or next moment you are said you are going to the forest. So Lakshmana is stunned there, but now he is coming to his original form and he is saying that I will not allow this to happen. Let us bind Dasharatha and Kaikeyi. Meaning what he is saying is let us even put them in jail. Create a coup there. You will become the king. Let me see who stops me. Even if the gods were to come and fight with me, they are not going to get spared. Even if Lord Yama is going to come, I am not going to spare him. My bow and arrow is not for practice. Or shooting this, some people use now like this, shooting birds and squirrels. All that's not what my bow is for. It is for protection of dharma. It is for your service. And let me see who comes. He is in full rage and full anger. So Rama calms him down. He says, at any cost, we have to follow father's words. He has given a word. He said, you have to take up the chair, the throne means I will do it. He says, you have to go there means I have to do it. This is what is the dharma we have to do. Lakshmana says, all the dharma, all the talk is fine, but he has to follow his dharma also, right? The father or king or whoever it is, he has to follow his dharma also. Only then we can follow our dharma. See, Prahlada was there. Prahlada's father was saying various things. Prahlada was following everything. Enter the fire means he will enter the fire. If cooperate and they will throw you from the mountain means he will cooperate. Fall into the ocean means he will fall. Keep quiet and the elephant will come on you means he will keep quiet. All those things he was following. One thing he was not following. Don't say Lord's name. Lord Narayana is not the Lord. I am the Lord. That he was not. So, father's Pitru Devo Bhava is there in the Vedas also. Father is God. But when father says you should not worship Narayana, he was not listening. Lakshmana is not quoting all these things, but like that. So, father should behave like a father. Only then we can follow. So, Rama says, no, no, no. Whatever he says, I have to follow. If I sit in the throne, if I am going to give judgment to others later, if a dispute between father and the son comes, what he will ask? Did you listen to your father? This question will come first. So, Rama's following of dharma is always one notch higher than what any mortal can conceive of. You conceive of the highest level of dharma, put it at that stage. One step above that is Rama's dharma. So, he is arguing all those things. Lakshmana is not satisfied. Finally, Rama says, you know Lakshmana, it is all vidhi. Vidhi means fate. It is destiny. It is destined that I should go to forest. Let us follow this. To which Lakshmana says, this type of word I will not accept from your mouth. It is the weak and the cowards who talk about Daivam, who talk about this, it's all God, it is all fate, all these things only the weak people talk. You should not talk. You should not talk like this. Okay, even assuming if God is only doing all these things, okay, you should act in such a way that you bring those gods under your control. You must bring those gods under your control. That is what is Paurusham all about. Rama says, ultimately, to pacify him, whether you like it or not, you don't understand the power of destiny. I don't even blame Mother Kaikeyi here, because that mother who has been showing extreme affection towards me, overnight if she has to change her mind and say that I have to go to forest, do you think it is something that she is doing? She is not doing. Father is not doing. Kaikeyi is not doing. Who is doing? It is the fate. It is the destiny. Finally, he settles the argument like that, and therefore he says that same enthusiasm you showed towards organizing all these arrangements of my coronation, ask them to remove. That same enthusiasm you should show. Like that, he is giving Lakshmana different directions. What is interesting is, two things we have to remember here. That Lakshmana, for all his talk about Paurusham and the effort that he has to put in now, and that he has to jail Dasharatha or Kaikeyi, all those things, finally when Rama took the decision, why he could not go against it? You have the effort, you have the power, you have the will, everything you are talking about, but why he could not go anything? That is the overall scheme of things. Second thing is, Rama talked about destiny, but throughout Ramayana he shows his Paurusham only. Later when Sita is taken away, Rama doesn't say, oh, it is destiny, my wife has to go like this. He did not be a pessimist like that. Superhuman efforts were put, even bridge was constructed across the ocean to retrieve Sita. And the Moola Bala of the Ravana single-handedly to finish that off, because the time is approaching, 14th year is going to finish. Before that he has to come back, because Bharata will otherwise commit suicide. The way in which he is going to finish off that forces, it is not an ordinary effort. It is only Rama can do it. So he shows his Paurusha throughout, but he is submitting to destiny here. So therefore, what is it that we understand here is that understanding of destiny, accepting destiny, gives us solace for the time being. It keeps the mind calm. It is not pessimism, please. It is not pessimism, but understanding the overall scheme of things, or rather we don't understand the overall scheme of things, but accepting as it is for the time being. That is very important. Now, In individual, remember this, that Prarabdha and Purushartha are not two different forces. It is the same force. It is the single force. It is the force of the past which has come till now, which we call as Prarabdha. Right? That, in other words, Prarabdha is also belonging to the individual. The effort also belongs to the individual. So therefore, how can you say there are two different forces? So if somebody is going to talk about Prarabdha versus Purushartha, they must not misunderstand it as two different forces. It is one force only. Okay, one force is already finished, but it is a continuation of that effort only of that individual. If both these forces are in front of us, then we can decide which is more powerful. But Prarabdha by definition is past. Past is unseen, fait accompli. That which is unseen, how can you measure it? You do not know. Sir, there are two wrestlers. They are sitting here. Two wrestlers are sitting here. We are trying to decide who is stronger of the two. This person has more height. This person is more agile, but this person has physical strength. This person has mental strength. He can keep his mind calm. This person has lot of practice. Last 3 months he has been fighting. This person is a big match player. Whenever any important thing comes, he comes alive, like PV Sindhu. Very important matches she plays very nicely, right? Now, you can keep on giving out the qualities of this wrestler and that wrestler, but ultimately, on a given day, any of these qualities can fail. Any of these qualities can succeed. 25th June 1983. Recently there was celebration. What was it? World Cup. We won the World Cup in England. Nobody gave India a chance. If you go by the relative strength of West Indies and India at that point of time, 66-1 or something was the odds against. But on that day we won. And very many times when it is very much expected that we are winning, we are not winning. So it is not really predictable that way. So why do you talk about these two wrestlers, this person is like that, this person is like this? It is a never ending thing. What you must do? You must only make both of them fight. If you make both of them fight, the result is very clearly seen. So actually the fighting must happen. You don't keep on speculating, this person is like that, this person like that, who is more powerful, it won't work. But in this case, what is there? One person is invisible. One person is invisible. How will you fight? Yes, don't worry. Don't worry. You have to fight. Let the enemy be invisible. I am using the word enemy here, not actually enemy, your past. Your past is invisible. Let that enemy be invisible, but you keep on putting the effort. When you keep on putting that effort, the results will start to come. If you are not able to succeed, it means you need to gather more strength. So therefore, Prarabdha can be used as the inspiration for Purushartha. Prarabdha must be used as the inspiration for Purushartha. See, constantly, if you are not able to win, then you have something to focus on and say, I have to beat it, I have to beat it. 1976 to 1980, 5 years continuously, John Bogue won the Wimbledon. It is written, nobody else can win. Last 2 years or so, John McEnroe was the opponent, but he couldn't win. But he kept on trying, and then finally what happened in 1981, he won. Same, Bogue versus McEnroe, and McEnroe won. Or recently you can say Federer versus Nadal. Wimbledon he was winning 5 years from 2003 to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. 2008 finally Nadal won. So last 2 times Nadal was trying and trying, but finally, so you see that at some point of time that winning happens. So all that you need to do is that you keep on fighting. See, there is a what you call a nail. That nail is hit inside a pillar. It is gone deep inside. Only a little portion of the head is there seen outside. You are seeing only that small portion of the head outside. You have to pull that nail out. Okay? How far it has gone inside, it depends on how strong that person has hit and how powerfully it has gone. Not only that, if it is hit against a loose brick, it might come out easily. But if it is with a nice wood, a teak wood or something into which it has driven properly, then it will get stuck like anything. You cannot easily take it out. For taking it out, you have to reverse the process, right? You have to put the hammer in the reverse way and you pull it. You try to pull it, it does not come. We get frustrated. What you must do? You must try hard and pull it now. Even then it is very tough. What you do? You try even harder. So, one good thing for us is that nail is not infinitely long. The pillar itself is not infinite. So, the nail is somewhere inside the pillar. Then nail is finite. For us to put in the effort, we can always take the help of the infinite. See, that infinite self or Atma or God, whatever it is, you take his help. Taking his help, your effort can keep on increasing. Once your effort keeps on increasing, you can pull that nail. At some point of time it will come out. For pulling the nail also there is a technique. See, suppose some people get frustrated, they cut the head or something like that, and it becomes even more difficult. After that you can never pull, or it becomes much difficult. So there is a particular way that you must pull, and that's an expert. You can take the advice, you first learn the knowledge, but you can pull it out. First and foremost thing is the confidence that I can pull it out. Then there is a method of pulling it out. Exactly like that, if we have to reverse our past karma and wipe it out completely, there is a method. These methods are given in our Shastras. Guru is going to help us. He is going to tell us how to do karma, how to put in the effort in bhakti, then jnana, various things are there, by which process you will pull out. How we get frustrated in this is, I am putting in effort but nothing is seen, nothing is happening. I am attending class for long, still, and not only you, others in the house will say, hey, you are attending Gita, why is your anger still there? As though one day you attend the class, the next day anger will go. Why is your anger still there? What is the use of attending this class? Or what is the use of studying Gita? Don't worry at all. Sometimes in this, what is this? Holding company and subsidiary company. Suppose if a company has a 100% shares. So one company keeps on acquiring the shares of the other company. Then it becomes the holding company, right? So you acquire 10% share, then you acquire 15% share, nothing happens. In other words, you don't have the still the voting rights or something, you are not the deciding, the management and other things is not in your control still. 40%, still you don't have control. 49, but when that 49 becomes 51, you become the majority holding company there. You will have say over the matters. This say over the matters is not come because of the 2%. It is all this 51%, but all this 51%, when it comes up to 49, we don't see the effect of it. That last two things we see the effect of it. Exactly like that, our efforts when we put, we sometimes don't see the effect, because that effect is colored by the past, but the effect is happening actually. It is happening in the background. One need not worry about it. Okay, let us take this example. See, here the business people will know or accountants will know. Suppose there is a principle. So you buy an object that is 10,000 rupees. Okay, but he says you can pay interest of 2,000 and give 12,000 rupees. And you can take the object now, but you have to give 12,000 rupees. He slips in a clause that you pay 1,000 in each month. In 1 year you give. So in 12 installments you are giving 1,000 rupees. For those who are not aware, you may simply say 1,000, 10,000, 2,000, so interest is 20%. Is this correct or wrong? Wrong, correct. Because he is selling products like this, that's why he is saying, you know, he is selling products. See, why it is wrong? Right. If you pay 12,000 rupees at the end of 1 year, then it is 20%. But you are not paying 12,000 at the end of 1 year. You are paying every month. You are paying every month 1,000. So actually you put in the Excel and with a goal seek scenario, this is nearly double, 35% or so. But gullible people just take it to be 20%. The interest is something like this, it will come. This is what we think. 1,000 rupees is the EMI that you pay for 12 months. Some 80 and 20, no, 833 is the principal amount and 167 is the interest amount. Evenly we pay like this. It could be a mental calculation like this, which is wrong. This is the right thing. You put the Excel sheet and see, this will come. That in the, what I want you to note here is, you see in the payment of 1,000, the principal keeps on increasing as you pay more. The interest keeps on decreasing. In the first installment, 700 odd rupees, 708 is the principal. 292 rupees you pay only for the interest. In the last installment, 28 rupees is the interest. This works out to 35%. Fate and free will at least can help us learn some accountancy, if not anything else. Now, what is important to note here is that as the installment progresses, your repayment becomes more and more. Exactly like that, you may put in, even assuming you put in the uniform effort, you don't see the effect now, because your tendencies of the past which continue to manifest and create further vasanas, you are like repaying the interest for that. When you repay the interest for that, most of the effort goes there. Then what happens to the original thing that you are repaying? It is actually reduced. So therefore there is no way that you are going to see the effect, but you keep putting the effort. Here the assumption is you are putting the uniform effort, but when you increase the effort, you can even pay back within 10 months. You can pay back within even 5 months. It is possible. So the examples given in Vedanta treatise is very interesting, that your bank balance, your overdraft you do not know, but your capacity to earn now is independent of that. You keep on repaying 5,000 rupees every month and you say still it's overdraft, and that overdraft will have some more interest, it will take a long time. But you have that capacity to earn and put 10,000, 50,000, that is in your present hand now. So what we must remember is, the effort is independent of the past, but the effect is colored by the past. I repeat, the effort is independent of the past, but the effect is colored by the past. Prarabdha is what you meet in life, you cannot do anything about it, but independent of that you can start putting in the effort. If the river flow is of certain speed, that river flow will be there, but speed of your boat is independent of that. If you are able to go upstream, 14 kilometers per hour is the speed of the boat, 2 kilometers per hour will be there of the stream. So your effective will be only 12. So, but it is not 12, it is actually 14. So you keep on putting the independent effort now, that is the lesson that is given to us. A person is having a yellow color wall, he wants to make it blue. Okay, paint blue, keep on painting blue, but after sometimes when you paint blue, that blue may mix with yellow and appear as green. So somebody will say, or you yourself will feel it's green. No, it is not green. You keep on applying it, at some point of time blue will completely overtake and it will cover the whole wall. So it is the question of applying your Purushartha like this. What is helpful for us here is, with reference to Prarabdha and Purushartha, is that our forgetfulness of the past is a blessing. All that you need to remember about Prarabdha is that something has happened in the past for which the effect is now. You need not go into past life therapy, what is all this regression and other things, it is not required. All that we need to focus on is the present effort. Hope for the future and forgetfulness of the past is the blessings. So Prarabdha and Purushartha, apparently seeming a never ending debate, is reconciled only if we understand they are not two different forces. They are not two different forces. It is the same. Now the topic for the day is not about Prarabdha and Purushartha. The topic for the day is fate versus free will. What is this free will? No, Purushartha is different. In our Sanatana Dharma, we have this term, or we discuss about this term often, which is freedom. Freedom is moksha, liberation. Even in the four Purusharthas, Purushartha, another meaning of the Purushartha is the purpose of life. Purushartha means what is it that the man is living for? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, we say, no, the Chaturvida Purushartha. Of this, moksha is the highest, liberation. Moksha is always dealt with, which is freedom. We also discuss about kartrutva. Kartrutva is agency of action. Who does the action? That is discussed about. But in the way in which the debates go on in philosophical circles as to fate versus free will, we don't find that in our tradition. The origins of free will can be traced mostly to Christianity. The Christian notion of free will is important for them. And we can say during the 19th century, even when there is a renaissance in Vedanta, particularly in Bengal, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was the stalwart who, we can say, brought Vedanta back. So at that time there used to be various intellectual debates, and people even from Brahma Samaj and other intellectuals, they used to debate. They have a strong influence of Christianity and those notions also. So that is why when this discussion about free will comes, Paramahamsa says, did you read any English book? That book, that is where it is mentioned. What Englishman calls as free will, he says. So free will as it is understood is not discussed in the same way as in our scriptures. You can use a term. What is the term even for free will? We do not know. Swadhin Ichha, you can say. Swadhin is independent, free. Ichha is will. Free will. Now what is this notion of free will? As we will not go into detail as far as the Christian notion is concerned. See, each and every religion basically explains that human being is suffering and he needs to be liberated. That is the theme of all religions. From our point of view, from dharmic religions point of view, if you ask why does the man suffer, we say karma. That is a direct answer that is given. Not only Hinduism, even when I say Buddhism, Jainism, all dharmic religions, we accept karma. Why is a child born blind? Why is a child born as a polio patient, or why is a person born in a rich family? Each and everything we attribute to the karma of the past. So therefore, the moment we say karma, automatically reincarnation is accepted. The moment we say karma, punarjanma has to be accepted. But what about those religions which don't accept punarjanma? So some of these religions, in the present understanding of that religions, they accept only one birth, right? So if you want to explain suffering, why is that person suffering? Actually, he should not suffer. He exercised his free will and did something wrong. So he has to suffer. You exercise your free will, you have free will means, free will in general means, I have freedom to do whatever I want. My thought is free, my will is free. I can think and do anything that I want. When I think and do anything that I want, and if it is wrong, I have to suffer. Right. Now only you said that a child is born. Where is the child having any will, first of all? Where is the thought for the child? How do you explain the child suffering? That is when they trace back to Adam itself. Then once Adam ate the forbidden fruit, see, this is a section of Christianity called as theodicy. Theodicy means vindication of divine providence against, in the view of existence of evil. Vindication of divine providence means God cannot be held responsible in any way. You cannot blame God. God is not responsible at all. If at all it is happening, it is because of your free will you are suffering. So that is why when you ask the question like, so I am not asking you to believe or not, that is some person's belief, that is all it is. It may be logical, not logical, scientific, unscientific, that is not the discussion here. So that human beings as a race has to suffer because of the original person who has exercised his free will and he ate the forbidden fruit, the result of which is the entire humanity is sinned, and for redemption of that you have to believe in Jesus Christ. All this is their way of explaining. That is why from a theological point of view, they explain free will from different angles, from a normal explanation of free will, from Bible's explanation of free will, from a technical point of free will. There are various ways which we will not go into detail now, but this notion of free will is rooted there. But the question arises, do we really have free will? We can independently analyze this question from Vedanta point of view. Does free will exist? We said in the beginning that the law of causation functions meticulously. Law of causation functions in the nature, in the plants. We see a perfect pattern and order. Are we anyway apart from nature, the human beings? No. We are also part of this nature. We are also part of this totality, made up of the same elements, governed by the same laws. If in a set pattern like this, when we are functioning, how can we have something completely different from what other things are not having? How is it possible? In other words, is it possible for us to control our thoughts? Most of you who have heard Swamiji, who have heard our talks also based on that, and regularly what we say in class, you will say that as far as animals are concerned, as far as other creatures are concerned, their life is well set in motion. It is pre-programmed, it is computerized. A cow has to lead a cow's life, which is a vegetarian herbivorous life. A tiger has to lead a tiger's life, that is a law. Tiger has to lead a carnivorous life, it has to kill and eat, no exception. But man only has got a choice. Man can be as meek and mild as a cow also, or as ferocious as a tiger also. He has got this freedom to choose, and this choice is attributed to intellect. Always we talk about this intellect, even in our discussion of 3C intellect. We said 3C intellect means, this 3C intellect is, the term is coined in the same line as 3C success. Swamiji's topic is 3C success: concentration, consistency and cooperation. So we talked about the functional aspect of intellect from these three angles. There is choice, there is control, there is creativity. All these three things, where is it happening? It is here in your intellect. You choose between this and that. You choose between dharma and adharma. You can choose. Nobody can deny that. And that choice is attributed to your intellect. Mind is wanting something, you can control that mind. Senses are wanting something, you can control that senses. Control is there. Creativity, yes, so much creativity we have. A whale cannot be creative, right? A blue whale which is migrating, in the winters it will come from Arctic Ocean towards the Pacific Ocean. and in the summer again it will go back to the Arctic Ocean. Couple of months it will take for it to go. Whatever the whale's forefathers were doing so many thousands of years ago, that is the same thing that the whale is doing now. The progeny of the whale will continue to do that in the same thing. The birds will migrate, the whale will continue to do that. That is what they will do. They cannot do anything apart from it. For us, at one point of time, the ocean was a boundary. How creative we were, we built a boat, we built a ship, we can travel just like the ocean became a highway. All that is possible because of creativity. How can you deny that? See, this is not to deny what we said about the intellect. It is possible. We need to have control. We need to have a superior thought force. That superior thought force is called as intellect, vis-a-vis the mind. Mind is an emotional, free-flowing thought flow, as it is it goes. But consciously you can put in your thought flow, and that thought flow is called as intellect. It is at one level that we accept. But we have to further go deep down to understand what this intellect is. How does this intellect do all these things? When you talk about control, choice, creativity, where and how does the intellect do this? So, whenever any evolution is talked about, a person is not doing anything. Okay? When a person is not doing anything, he is in the state of tamas. Then you say, do something. At least earn some money, buy a mobile phone yourself. That is what infusing rajas. So, rajas is definitely slightly better than tamas. But rajas is not the ultimate. Ultimately, you have to go to sattva. Right? Similarly, a person who is having extreme inferiority complex, don't feel inferior, man. Don't feel inferior. You are superior. So then he goes into a superior mode, superiority complex. No. Beyond inferiority and superiority, you have to go to the state of no complex. So that intermediary stage is this superiority. That's about all. Similarly, a person says absolutely selfish. Why are you being selfish? Why do you think of yourself? Think about others. That is unselfish. But unselfish is not the absolute. There is something beyond unselfish, which is selfless. Beyond selfish and self. So therefore, we say, why are you having this weak mind? Develop the intellect. You have to develop it. Ultimately, that strong thought is that intellect. But that is not the ultimate. You have to transcend the thoughts. From a weak thought to strong thought to transcending the thought. So this analysis of 3C intellect, we will definitely go further. But today's time is up. Before that, I will only ask you to contemplate on this famous mantra. This is a food for thought for you. Kenapanishad, great Upanishad. The first mantra of Kenapanishad, it says, Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha, Kena prana pratama praiti yuktaha, Keneshitam vachamimam vadanti, Chakshus shrotram kaudevo yunakti. Concentrate on the first line only. Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha. Two words are used here. Ishitam, preshitam. Ishitam, preshitam. Kena ishitam. By whom willed? Patati. The mind falls. The mind alights on the objects. By whom willed and directed does the mind alight on the objects? This is a very deep question. See, a student who has contemplated and thought about life, he has come to a certain conclusion, and it is that conclusion based on which he is asking this question as ultimate question to the master. And what is the conclusion that he has come to? That my mind is not free, my will is not free. By whose will is it happening? One is the power of the mind, another is the direction of the mind. He says both are not in my control. Both does not seem to be in my control. On what basis my mind falls on the object? This is a very deep question. Think about just the question that's coming. This question is very deep, and we are very, we must be proud of this legacy that this question was asked about 5,000 or 10,000 years back. That they understood, that this person understood that my will is not in my control. This will apply the same for him also. On what basis does his mind operate? Or preshitam. Preshitam means in his presence. Is it in somebody's presence my mind alights on the object? It is the presence of somebody that my mind alights on the objects. Not only that, Kena prana pratama praiti yuktaha. My prana is beating. Who is making that beat? We all know when the child is conceived in the womb, sometime the heartbeat begins to happen. From that time onwards, like a battery set in motion till we die, this is continuing. Who put that beat into that prana? Who is that recharging force which is giving that power to that battery? This is a deep question. The question is, my will is not free. Who is making my will function? We will continue tomorrow.
Poornam Adah Poornamidam Poornat Poornamudachyate Poornasya Poornamadaya Poornamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.